Welcome to Honest Whispers Preview to Sale. On this video I'll be previewing Final Fantasy VII Advent Children Play Arts action figure. Figure number 3, Sephiroth. This was released by Square Enix back in 2006. This figure is approximately 9 inches tall. As you can see here, he is about half an inch elevated off the ground in the box. He comes with this nice long trademark sword and 4 switch out hands for different poses, and he has a very nice display stand. The character design, or the character designer, is Tetsuya Nomura, and I'm going to go over 6 different categories to review this. First category is design, which basically covers the look, the concept, and even the points of articulations. And for this figure, I can't be for sure, but at least on the box it does say that it has over 20 points of articulations. I can guess just by experience and knowing these type of figures, 1 on the neck, 2 shoulders, 2 on the biceps for rotating elbows, 2 wrists, 2 hips, and 2 thighs for probably rotating again, and then 2 knees, and then 2 ankles. And most likely 1 on the waist, and doesn't look like there's 1 on the torso. So, but the way they designed everything, just the way it looks, I mean, it's so accurate, perfect proportions. Nothing looks bigger than what it should be or smaller than what it should be. Well thought out design, and as you can see, there are some samples here on the back on how you could pose it. And one cool thing, especially with the switch at hands, you could do this cool little taunting pose. And one thing that could probably really make things really cool is just having him able to do a double-handed grab, although it looks like it's more like, rather than actually grabbing, it looks like one of the hands is slightly the open hand, so it looks like it's kind of like double grabbing. But the fact that you're able to do so many different poses, and also the fact that they designed this so well that a lot of the points of articulations, they're very well hidden, and it's very seamless. So due to that, I give the design score a perfect 10 out of 10. Next category is sculpting, which basically covers the details, the execution, and also the quality of the sculpt or molding. And as you can see, it just has a lot of high details with very high quality craftsmanship. And if I can show you with the different angles, you can see that he has a lot of details, starting from his hair. Yeah, the strands on his hair and everything is just really well done. Nice smooth straight lines or curves. His costume or uniform, definitely it's just nicely done. I mean, just the way his shoulder pad looks, it has a nice metallic look to it. The little straps with I guess they're like little rivets, but you could also see these little buckles. I mean, it's small, but then the detail is really well done. And a good example of that would be these buckles and straps, because you have to understand these are like maybe like 1/4 inch at most, like at biggest, and yet the lines and everything is very consistent. very, pretty much straight and not much flaws to it. And even just the way the details on the gloves, you can see all the wrinkles and everything. I mean, it really makes it look like leather gloves. So the craftsmanship of the sculptor or the sculpting itself, I mean, it's just you can't get this kind of quality with any figure, especially something for the price that it came out with. So sculpting, I mean, it could have been perfect, but now when you look really close up, and also if you know or have these figures before, know these type of figures, well, the skin part area, the plastic they tend to use is kind of like soft plastic. So even on this, you could see there's a very light gray dot on his right chest. Well, basically it's kind of like a small little indentation. And this one, it was either caused or made when it was molded or when it was being assembled. So again, this is the soft plastic where if you press your fingernail hard enough, it'll create a permanent indented line. So due to that, I give the sculpting score a near perfect score, a high 9 out of 10. Next category is colors, which basically covers the accuracy of the colors, the quality of the painting, and the quality of the paint application, or even quality of the imprinting application, because sometimes they could get the eyes a little off, even though it's not, how you say, hand painted, but rather imprinted. So this one, everything looks nice and accurate, from his eyebrows, eyes, and there really isn't much painting done on this. You could see that a lot of the parts have been molded from either like black plastic or whatever color it's meant to be. So the base color is the material itself, and when you do see some painted areas, you could see that the quality of the paint is very good, especially like certain metal paint. It does have that shine and gloss to it, so it does have like a metallic look. So it does look pretty much perfect, but when you look really up close, and of course this is the type of inspection I do, well, the rivet or that silver button on the right side, his right side or our left, you could see that slightly over the border, that silver paint, you could see one half or edge just slightly over the border. And right here on his left wrist, you could see this off-white light gray paint on, I guess that's supposed to be like his wristband or something, and basically you could see it bleeding over the border right there in the front, while the rest is pretty much smooth and, you know, just right on its border, right. So when you look at it right here from eye level, you could see how some of it is on his sleeve. So those are things you have to really look up close at. Otherwise, when you look at from like this normal distance, you really can't tell. Everything looks great, and therefore I give the color score a near perfect score, 9 out of 10. Next category is packaging. Packaging, as you can see, this is a window box packaging. Nice big window in the front, even have the logo kind of shaped out right there in the middle. nice window on the top, and you get a window in each side, right and left. The box, it looks like a plain black box, but actually when you do look up close, there is this, how you say, a dark gray line, which actually one goes up, one goes down, so it does kind of make a cross, and you can kind of see that throughout the box itself. So even on the side right here, you got the one horizontal line going on the bottom, and then you get this vertical line right here going up on top. Very subtle, but still it's something to notice, and I wanted to point out. And as far as the back goes, this box, as you can see, they're all individualized, and if you own or seen other boxes from the same series, they have the same layout, same logo, same font, same background colors and everything. So I do like that consistency of the packaging, especially throughout the entire series. And of course, just to show, the bottom also has a logo. Now, the one thing I don't really like, if I had a choice, I would choose not to have this flap right here. It's usually harder to keep stored or packaged, and a lot of times these flaps are what tend to get kind of creased up, damaged. But one good thing that you can do with this flap is that if you don't want to open it, you could always hang it against your wall with the little tack, and basically it should stay flat, although you do risk it falling down, damaging it if the pin should ever fall. And if you move it around, the back will probably get scuffed up. And this one, it has, as you can see, a very glossy finish to the box. Still, packaging is very high quality. I think either way, it's a hit or miss depending on the flap. But if you look at, for instance, the Cloud figure with the Fenner motorcycle, well, basically there's no flap for that, so I think it could have worked well without it. Either way, I give the score for packaging a high 9 out of 10. Next category is value, which basically covers the quality of price versus the quality of the figure, or also you can look at it as retail price versus aftermarket price. And this one, when it first came out back in 2006, it retailed around $25. I think maybe a little less. I think most stores on average it was probably around like $22.99 or $21.99. And right now, the lowest I've seen, either on eBay or Amazon, a used one right now can go for, with the box still included, it's just been opened, a used one for around like $40. With or without shipping, it really depends. I think with shipping it was around like 40 something, like 43 or something. And then like a new one right now, I've seen like the lowest at around like 55 on the average. So, and there's a lot of them out there. So unfortunately, like, I guess they mass produce they mass produce everything, but this one in particular, probably they made a lot more of compared to, let's say, a Vincent or even a Tifa, which she can be pretty popular as well and have a high demand. But yeah, I definitely can't beat Sephiroth or Cloud in this series. So definitely high demand, but also there seems to be a high supply. But still, for a little over 10 years, it's about 200%, I guess, or 100% increase in value. And I could definitely see this continue to go up in value. Definitely depending on the condition and everything, of course. So therefore, I give the value score a high 8 out of 10. Finally, overall, which basically accumulates the 5 prior categories: design, sculpting, colors, packaging, and value. And basically, overall, even if you're not that familiar with Final Fantasy, or you're not like a fan of Sephiroth or even know him, just by looking at him, it's just pure coolness, really. I mean, even though he's a bad guy, definitely they made him look cool. The soft vinyl coat, that's just a cool touch. Just everything about it looks really cool. And as far as bad guys go, he's one of the best bad guys in the Final Fantasy series of all time. So definitely iconic type of character. Quality of the figure itself is very nice, and everything about it very accurate. Colors are pretty much perfect. I give the overall score a near perfect 9 out of 10. So to recap: design 10 out of 10, sculpting 9 out of 10, colors 9 out of 10, packaging 9 out of 10, value 8 out of 10, and overall 9 out of 10. Thank you for watching. Until next time,